Welcome back to the channel, guys, and in today's video we are going to feature a very powerful team which I'm currently using, consisting of Swampert, Venusaur and Talonflame. And since all of these Pokemon have some sort of community day move, this team really hits hard, and once the shields are down, I think this team is really powerful. And shield management, I think, is really critical with it, because none of these Pokemon is kind of bulky, besides Venusaur. But Venusaur also, it's not that bulky when compared to other Great League Metamons. So definitely you need to watch out for the shields, but in turn this team can run over the opponent shields as well. And once the shields are down, with the community day moves, this team can steamroll any Pokemon. So yeah, I'm really enjoying playing with this team. And before we start with the team composition, if you are new to the channel and if you like our content, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And if you want to join the Battlestate Discord server, the link to that is in the description down below. So moving on to the team composition, the team which we are using today, as I mentioned, consists of Swampert, Talonflame and Venusaur. So PvPoke rating does not really rates this team pretty high, and I think probably because this team is not very bulky, plus it's an elemental team consisting of a lot of elemental charge moves and fast moves. So perhaps that's the reason, but I really feel that this team is very strong. And the reason behind leading Swampert is that with the current meta shaping up, there are a lot of Talonflames, Bastiodons, Galarian Stunfisk, Politoed and Galvantula is in the you find in the lead. And Swampert provides neutral matchup to every Pokemon to that, which I've just mentioned. So I really feel like Swampert is the go-to lead mon right now in the Great League, at least. And with the Talonflame and Venusaur in the back, I think they covers Swampert weakness, which is basically grass type Pokemons. So Talonflame would be, if I see a grass lead, I usually swap to Venusaur, try to catch a charge move. This forces the opponent to swap, or they might stay as well, because if they are running a grass lead, they are likely to have a water type in the back. So yeah, I think this team, if you plan your shields correctly, and if you weigh, yeah, I think this team is pretty strong. I cannot emphasize that enough. But enough with the words. And let's start with the battles to see this team in action and how this battle plays out. So picking up a positive lead, and the opponent swaps into Scrafty, and I come in with Talonflame. Probably this will not be a clear matchup, and I will be forced to use shields. But I wanted to get rid of the Talonflame, because Talonflame really has no play up against Bastiodon. So going directly for Brave Bird, not expecting a shield, since they can come in with Bastiodon and farm us down, and they do not shield. So correct call of throwing the Brave Bird there. And now if the Bastiodon comes in, the Talonflame will go down pretty fast, so they will not have enough farm onto the Talonflame. And since they did not waited the switch timer, I immediately come in with Swampert, because I want to get rid of this Bastiodon. But Bastiodon again we can go down pretty quickly to Venusaur as well. So in comes this this annoying thing, and I really hate this. So going for a frenzy plant, and definitely they are going to shield, because they know that Swampert will not be able to do much up against the Shadow Victreebel. So they will protect Shadow Victreebel at all cost. They go for a acid spray, and this might be it for Venusaur, because even though Venusaur would have been able to get to the charge move, but with the acid spray debuff, I don't think that we will be able to get to a sludge bomb, or probably I could have. I was just nervous. But definitely this is going to be a losing thing, because yeah, I definitely would not have got to not got to a sludge bomb there. But still, that was pretty close. I think if it was not for the Shadow Victreebel, I think we would have been able to pull that off, or even the acid spray for that matter. So yeah, GG's. Moving on to the next one, picking up another positive lead. Let's see how this matchup goes around. And now I am very cautious about Talonflame swapping out and catching on to Hydro Cannon. So I don't really throw away unless I see the animation for the Incinerate going down. So that's something you really want to watch out, because Talonflame with energy, if it swaps out, it can be pretty dangerous. And at this point the shields are down, so this is really good for me, because now even if they go for a flame charge bait, and if they try to go for a Brave Bird, I can, but regardless of that, I am able to get to Hydro Cannon. So this Talonflame will go down, And this is what I meant when I said that this team is really strong when the shields are down, because now I can just play this matchup out how I want to, because even though this we will not go down to the power up punch, but even though this Scrafty will be boosted, I can come in with Talonflame and just continue to raise my attack. And unfortunately that probably was a CMP die, so that's why I would need to force my shield. But now I can, or that was not a CMP die. Glad that that did not register. But unfortunately, since I was too afraid of taking another foul play, I went for a charge move. But at this point I already have enough for a Brave Bird, so Talonflame gets to the charge move pretty quickly, and with this boosted Brave Bird I think this is going to do a lot to this Azumarill. Unfortunately we will not be able to get, or we are able to get to a Flame Charge, and probably since it's a boosted Flame Charge, it will be enough to knock out the Azumarill, or barely not enough, but we do have Venusaur and that was GG's. Moving on to the next one and picking up a negative lead this time around. So I swap to Venusaur immediately, and I'm expecting a water type in the back, but they are running Talonflame. So probably it's the reverse version of the team which I'm using. So let's see how we would like to play this out. So Sludge Bomb gets shielded, and now this Talonflame, whatever it throws, I am ready to let go of Venusaur, because Venusaur really has no play up against the Talonflame. So I go for the Hydro Cannon immediately, because I don't want to invest a shield without the opponent investing another. So the opponent don't invest a shield and they come in with Venusaur, and the switch timer is still not up. So I let go of the Swampert because I wanted to keep shields for the Talonflame in the back. So they come in with the one Stunfisk. So this is still not over. I think this is going to be pretty close, because unlike Galarian Stunfisk, it does not have access to Rock Slide, which would have KO'd. Discharge will not be enough to take us out, and Incinerate along with Flame Charge damage is just really adding up. There is no point in going for a Brave Bird because it's resisted. So just continue to ramping up those charge move, those Incinerate damage, and we can survive one discharge, but still discharge will do more than anything what the Venusaur will throw at us. So I go for this Flame Charge because I don't really want to take a discharge, and once I'm done with this one Stunfisk, I think Venusaur cannot do anything. Even Sludge Bomb will not be able to take us out, and with that Incinerate registering, I think that's basically it for my opponent. Doing an over tap there, but the Incinerate was enough to take it out because Talonflame was so boosted there. Moving on to the next one, picking up a positive lead, and this is positive lead for Talonflame as well, so that's why I don't swap out immediately, because I know that Talonflame would be having a very good time up against that Mawille. So I stay in this match, try to burn some shields out to get rid of this Hypno. We don't really have a good answer to Hypno, because Talonflame will take a lot of damage with the Thunder Punch, and Venusaur will take massive amount of damage with those confusions, especially coming in from Shadow Hypno. So the opponent also invests a shield, and now I get to a Hydro Cannon, which is really good because this will either pressure the last shield of the opponent or will take down the Hypno. The Hypno goes down, which is really good for us, because now we get to keep the alignment for Mawille onto our Talonflame. Let's see, the opponent comes in with Shadow Gardevoir, and unfortunately we were not able to throw the Hydro Cannon, but this is okay because we have Venusaur, which will be taking resisted damage from those charms, and Venusaur is very spammy with those Mind Whips as well, so we will be able to pressure the last shield, which goes down, and in comes this Mawille, and Mawille cannot do anything to Talonflame. Power Up Punch, Iron Head, Play Rough, everything is resisted. This is only a Power Up Punch, so no need to shield. And at this point the game is pretty much wrapped up. I go for a Flame Charge, probably could have just farmed down as well, but going for a Flame Charge, this will knock out the Shadow Mawille, and the Shadow Gardevoir will just be a standby. They go for a charge move, and I let go of it because I don't let go of it. Yeah, it could have been either way. There was not much the opponent could have done there. So yeah, taking out that Shadow Gardevoir to take that match. So yeah, GG's. Moving on to the next one, let's see what do we get. and we are in a Bastiodon Lead, so again a very positive lead. And this is what I'm saying when I said that Swampert Lead is very good in this current meta. So again the opponent comes in with Sableye and that to return Sableye, but I don't think that they really need return. Foul play will be doing enough amount of damage, and I want to shield there because Shadow Claw damage would have added up and the opponent might have farmed us down. So I really want to the switch advantage here is not that important. I really want the opponent to get rid of their shields, because Bastiodon as well as Swampert as well as Venusaur will be having a good time up against that Venusaur. So using a shield, not really sure that whether that was quite necessary or not, because Sableye would be able to beat us to the next charge move, which is obviously not really good. So now I think I come in with Venusaur and look to completely farm down the Sableye, which we are able to do. They might have been very close to another foul play, and in comes Bastiodon. So Bastiodon again, as I said, will be taking a lot of damage with those Frenzy Plants, because Frenzy Plant will be doing neutral damage because of the rock and steel typing. So as you can see, another Frenzy Plant, I think the Venusaur, it was enough for Venusaur. And since we had some residual energy of our Swampert, I think this Medicham, it's not all the way, it's not a complete XL. So two Hydro Cannons will be enough to knock out this Medicham. And since we already had a Frenzy Plant ready of our Bastiodon, I'm not really worried. Because this Ice Punch will not be enough to knock it out, and Bastiodon will have to throw their energy if they want to get rid of us without they really needed to throw, because Hydro Cannon would have been able to take them out. But at this point we do have a Frenzy Plant ready, and since they got rid of their energy, I think we will be able to Vine Whip down this Bastiodon before it gets to the next charge move. So yeah, GG's. Moving on to the next one, let's see what do we get. And we are in a Politoed Lead. So this is a lead which is not quite good, because Politoed will be able to do neutral damage with those weather balls. So at this point I really go up straight away for the Sludge Wave, because I either want to take down this Politoed or I want to pressure the opponent shields, because I do have Venusaur in the back for this Politoed, and I don't really swap out because they are most likely to have a counter to Venusaur in the back, or in a grass type in general. So they go for a weather ball. This will not knock us out, and now they swap to Frostlass, and that's basically perfect for us, because we do have a really good answer to this Frostlass. I really shield because Frostlass is very attack weighted Pokemon, and Avalanche will do massive amount of damage. So going for a Flame Charge to boost the Incinerate damage, and at this point even if I invest a shield, the Frostlass will go down, and if for Politoed we will have a Flame Charge ready, and their boosted Flame Charge I think will be enough to KO that Politoed. So we are able to take down the or let's see if the opponent opts to shield or let go of their Politoed. The opponent shields their Politoed, so now I preserve some energy on my on my Talonflame and swap out, and in comes their Alola Ninetales, which is really good for us because Sludge Bomb will be doing massive amount of damage. It really does not KO, which is unfortunate, because the Ninetales probably can, or it cannot farm us down. I think we will be able to Vine Whip it down before it gets to the charge move. And Politoed, we fortunately, I think we were able to get to the Frenzy Plant there, because Politoed would have farmed us down, and I didn't think we were just one Incinerate away from the charge move. So yeah, really close fun, and GG's. Moving on to the next one, pick in a Swampert Mirror match. So here what I like to do is I don't like to throw right away, because I really want to sneak in a Mud Shot just like I did. So now we do have energy advantage of the opposing Swampert, and we will be able to get to the second Hydro Cannon first. So we get to this Hydro Cannon. Let's see if the opponent opts to shield or not. The opponent lets go of the Hydro Cannon, and they swap into I think that was Hypno. So I really don't need to worry about that Swampert in the back. I do have a Venusaur to counter that. So I come in with Talonflame and get started to get ahead on energy, because the Swampert I think is not at a Hydro Cannon, so it will have to take some amount of damage before it throws the charge move. So going for a Flame Charge, I really did not want to invest another shield in shielding the Thunder Punch, but the opponent shields, and I overtap there, but it's still okay, because with the Flame Charge boost I think we will be able to KO KO this Hypno, and we already have 2 Flame Charge ready. So Swampert will come in and going for another Flame Charge, but we don't have another Flame Charge ready, so we will either take the Hydro Cannon to the face, and I swap out immediately just to take on this Hydro Cannon. And now yeah, I will be able to take down the Swampert with our Venusaur, and I already have a Brave Bird stored on Talonflame. So I come in with Venusaur and the opponent swaps into Scrafty, and this is basically GG's because the Scrafty will go down to a couple of Frenzy Plants, and the Swampert is basically dead, which will go down to a Vine Whip. We will not go down to a Foul Play, so even if it's a Foul Play, it's good because the opponent, this Scrafty will not be able to get to another Foul Play before we get to a charge move. So going for probably they could have thrown the Power Punch there, but I don't think that would have made any difference since Power Punch do resist damage, and Swampert goes down just to a Vine Whip. So yeah, GG's. Moving on to the next one, we are in Sirfetch'd Lead. So this lead is not good because Sirfetch'd can one-shot the Swampert with the Leaf Blade, and it's managed to catch on the Leaf Blade onto the Talonflame. Probably could have swapped into Venusaur as well, but Talonflame I really want to get ahead on energy with it. And in comes Alolan Marowak. So in this case I straight away go for a Brave Bird because the Flame Charge would have done resisted damage, but if it does get shield, it will be really bad for us. So the opponent does shields the charge move, and this is not really looking good because yeah, Talonflame is just a burden at this point, and I let go of it because they go for a Bone Club bait, and this will force them to throw another Bone Club. And now since I already have a Brave Bird ready, I go for a Brave Bird. Yeah, just make sure don't over tap because that could have ended pretty badly. So going for a Brave Bird, this grabs the last shield of the opponent. Unfortunately, we were not able to throw the Flame Charge, and since we were already at a Hydro Cannon, this will knock out the Alolan Marowak and waste a lot of the opponent's energy. So the Sirfetch'd will come in. Unfortunately, the Sirfetch'd will win the CMP against the Swampert, and since we were already at Hydro Cannon, I opted to shield the Swampert because they are most likely to have a Flyer counter in the back. Probably they have to have a Steel type in the back, but they have a Gothitelle, which is quite surprising to me, and that to a Charm Gothitelle. So I knew that Gothitelle has access to Psychic, but I don't think that they will be able to get to it before we get to a Frenzy. Yeah, Psychic with Charms would take some time to get to, but yeah, the game is pretty much wrapped up. GG's. Moving on to the next one, let's see what do we get in this match. And we are in a Talonflame Lead, so this lead is pretty good for Swampert. And again, I don't really throw the Hydro Cannon unless I see this Flame Charge animation. This confirms that Talonflame will not be able to swap out. So the Talonflame will shield the Hydro Cannon, and the Brave Bird pressure from Talonflame is pretty huge. I really don't want to take a Brave Bird to the face, so that's why I shield, and they do amazing job in baiting. So I come in with Venusaur immediately because Venusaur really has no play up against that Talonflame, and they go for a Dark Pulse. So that does decent amount of damage as compared to Foul Play, which would not have brought the Venusaur into yellow. So yeah, the Frenzy Plant does a decent amount of damage onto that Umbreon, and I let go of the Venusaur. Yeah, probably could have shielded there, but since Talonflame did not had energy, right? So yeah, definitely could have shielded to pressure the last shield of the opponent, but now I can come in with Swampert, and the Swampert will be able to throw this Hydro Cannon, which will barely knock out the Umbreon, and this probably could have costed us, but they go for a Dark Pulse, which is not enough to KO, and we are able to farm down the Umbreon, but they are probably likely to have a Swampert counter in the back, just as they are running Meganium. So going for a Sludge Wave, and the Sludge Wave doesn't get shielded, which is really good for us. Unfortunately, Meganium gets to throw a charge move, but it's okay if we can take a Frenzy Plant, and we are loaded on energy, so this is looking really good for us. But if the opponent calls this Brave Bird and shields, this is going to end up pretty bad for us, and that would mean that I would have to call the opponent's bait as well if they decide to. And since I am debuffed now, even Flame Charge would have done a lot of damage, and the opponent recognized it and went for a Flame Charge. So this is not looking good for us because my Talonflame is 0 attack, so it definitely is going to lose the CMP there. and yeah, the game is, yeah, the throwing of the brave bird really was the play, and if the opponent called it, which basically was their win condition. So yeah, GG's. Moving on to the next one, picking up another positive lead in the form of this Galvantula, and here I also wait for the volt switch animation to go through before I throw the charge move, and they shield the hydro cannon, which is understandable because they will be debuffing us with the lunge, and I really am not too worried about this lunge debuff because we do have Talonflame in the back, and if this hydro cannon connects, we can potentially farm that Galvantula down. So they would need to throw in order to take us down. So this is really good because this Galvantula is now in red, and I think we can potentially incinerate down with one incinerate. Unfortunately, the Galvantula needed two, so we took one extra volt switch in. So going for a flame charge because they are a shadow, so they're most likely to shield, but the opponent does not shield, which is pretty smart move from their end. I tried to catch on a hydro cannon there, but that did not happen. So opponent stored some energy, but they have a Galarian Stunfisk in the back. So with two shields up and the up against opponent one shields, this is a definitely positive matchup for Venusaur. And since Venusaur have a very strong matchup up against Swampert, I think this is going to look really good for us. One rock slide will not KO, and the opponent cannot really farm us down from that range, so I opted not to shield. So this will be all up to their Swampert, but now that they have shielded the Venusaur, now I can let go of the Venusaur and come in with Talonflame and look to completely farm down this Galarian Stunfisk, which we are able to do, and now we will be able, yeah, you know what's coming in. So yeah, definitely would want to shield this hydro cannon, and now I can just simply go for brave bird and take this thing down. So yeah, Talonflame knocking out the Swampert is pretty satisfying. So yeah, GG's. And that's it for this video, guys. These are the two sets which I recorded with this team and really played and really showcased it. And if you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed playing with it, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Until next time, peace.